What's going on, Guardians? Welcome to the Bladedancer Masterclass. I am your host, Shadow Hollow, and Lord Saladin is just pretty much chilling out behind me. This is the Bladedancers Masterclass, a series of videos in which I will call all Blade Dancers together so I can give you some tips on how to hone your Blade Dancer skills and become a master, so look out for more videos to come. I will be going over several of the tools used by the Blade Dancers, such as the jumps, the supers, and stuff like that, to give you a more in-depth look on how you can master that particular technique. So today we will be talking about Blink, and there's two techniques that I want to go over. The first is what I like to call a preemptive strike, and the other is evasion, which is pretty much self-explanatory. So let's get started. Let's start with the preemptive strike technique. By definition, a preemptive strike is a surprise attack that is launched in order to prevent the enemy from doing it to you. And that's pretty exactly what this is. So allow me to give you some examples on how to use Blink to utilize this technique. But before I do that, let me just say that you need to be smart when doing this, because Blink has a cooldown after activation, so you should definitely practice and get comfortable with it first and get the timing down, because if you do this mindlessly, then you will probably find yourself staring down the barrel of someone's fell winter's lie, and that's not good whatsoever. All I have to say to that is GG. So let's get started. So in this example, I see one of my teammates engaging an enemy, and I just picked up heavy ammo. I can actually hear the gunfire, so I know that they're focusing on my teammate and not on me yet. But I know that they're coming because they can probably see me on their minimap, but before they even get a line of sight on me or set up to try to take me out, that's when I strike. I pretty much pounced on them. Let's see that again. Notice how when I flashed in, it pretty much forced that first guy to readjust his shot. It actually forced that second guy up there to readjust his shot too. So I threw him completely off. And I knew that he didn't know where I was, but was probably expecting me to walk around that corner, so I actually blinked over his line of sight, which actually forced to readjust. So now, having them completely thrown off and panicking, I was able to use the situation to land this triple kill. Shortly after that, I actually preemptive strike here again and get those four guys again. So after taking out this guy, I know that the enemy spawn point is right up the stairs to the right, and I know that these guys that I just killed will pretty much spawn there pretty soon. I also know that I now have my super, so the minute that I see the red on my map from those guys, I do another preemptive strike to take them out and get the jump on them, surprise them once again, activate my super, and I take them all out. So this is definitely a good technique for throwing off your opponent. Allow me to give you another example, just so you can get familiar with this technique. I was trying to cap A when I noticed a guy coming from the top. I knew he was going to come in, and I needed to pretty much turn the situation around, because not only does he have the high ground, but he's probably going to come in and throw a grenade or something. I wanted to wait to the right moment though, so I wanted to wait till he was in that choke point in the hallway. I wanted to make sure he was close enough, but not so close to where he can actually get a line of sight. Like, I wanted to strike before he actually get the line of sight on me, so I can get him in that choke point, throw him straight off, and then and take him out. So Blink is really good for covering distance really quickly, applying pressure to your enemies, especially snipers and campers, collapsing and doing surprise attacks. So that's how you can use it offensively, but let's look at some examples on how to use it defensively. I was in a situation where both teams had just picked up heavy, but I didn't want to be reckless and rush forward and get shot in the face with a rocket launcher, so I proceeded with caution. After taking out that one guy, I noticed that he had a second teammate that was in the area and who most likely had heavy as well. So I took a couple shots, but I knew that since he didn't push up, that he most likely had a rocket launcher and was just gonna launch it over there. So I know I needed to get out of that situation, so that's when I blinked out of the way. I think my teammate got taken out, but you know what? We'll talk about that later. Okay, so assessing the situation is definitely a big part of evading. And here's another example. Oh, and by the way, let me give you a tip about Fist of Havoc. Whenever you see a Titan running straight at you like he's on a suicide mission to take you out, he's going to do one of four things. Number 1, Fist of Havoc. Number 2, Fist of Havoc. Number 3, shoulder charge. And number 4, Fist of Havoc. Now when you see this happening, do not try to contest it. Don't try to slide shotty him, and no, he's not trying to run into your arms to give you a hug, okay? Just blink out of the way, let him do what he's gonna do, and then handle your business. But that pretty much wraps up this video, guys. That's how you can use blink to be both aggressive and evasive, especially for those aggressive type players. You definitely need to practice it to master it, because using it recklessly can get you killed, and we all know skill is his own weapon and you have to learn how to wield it well. So hopefully those examples helped you out with your Bladedancer game as far as blink goes. Stay tuned for the next video, because in the next video I will be going over the super. So that pretty much it, guys. I'm Shadow Hollow signing out. Make sure you tune in to the next video, and I will see you guys later.